Here are the crypto top headlines covered in this video. SEC shoots down Ripple's argument for a lower penalty. Next, Gary Gensler could literally cost Joe Biden the election, says Mark Cuban. Also, surprising tone shift, Biden administration officials to attend key Bitcoin Roundtable in DC. Welcome to Crypto Top Headlines, where there's no clickbait thumbnails or titles, and no speeches on my opinions, just bringing crypto's news to you. We have a quick request that doesn't cost you anything in order to help. Help us grow this channel to 1,000 subscribers by September, which would be our channel's one-year anniversary. All we ask is that you click on the like and subscribe buttons as well as the notification bell. By clicking on these, it does help grow the channel, so thank you in advance for doing so. Now, on to these headlines. Our first top headline, SEC shoots down Ripple's argument for a lower penalty. The SEC argued Ripple's proposed lower civil penalty wouldn't be enough, and there's no comparison to its settlement with Terraform Labs. The United States Securities and Exchange Commission has criticized Ripple Labs' latest argument for a lower penalty, saying it wouldn't be enough. On June 13th, Ripple cited the SEC settlement with Terraform Labs when it again asked Judge Annalisa Torres of the United States District Court for the Southern District of New York for a penalty of no more than $10 million, far lower than the regulator's proposed $876.3 million civil penalty. A day later, the SEC argued in a June 14th letter to Torres that its $4.5 billion settlement with Terraform Labs and its co-founder Do Kwon, inclusive of a $420 million civil penalty, was made as the firm is bankrupt, agreed to return money to investors, and fired leaders in charge at the time of the violations. Ripple is agreeing to none of this relief. In fact, Ripple is agreeing to nothing. Ripple's argument that Terraform Labs' $420 million civil penalty was around 1.27% of its $33 billion gross sales wasn't an apples-to-apples comparison, the SEC said. The SEC added it measured Terraform's penalty against the gross profit of the violative conduct, which it pinned at over $3.5 billion, a nearly 12% ratio. The regulator argued Ripple's civil penalty would be $102.6 million if the same ratio were applied to the $876.3 million of Ripple's gross profits it asked to disgorge. That low of a penalty would not satisfy the purposes of the civil penalty statutes, the SEC said. The SEC's proposed penalties for Ripple total nearly $2 billion, which includes $198.2 million in prejudgment interest, $876.3 million in civil penalty, and another $876.3 million in disgorgement. The pair have been in their court fight since 2020 when the SEC claimed Ripple sold unregistered securities, which Torres agreed it did in a July 2023 ruling, but only when sold to institutional investors. In May, the SEC objected to Ripple's bid to seal some of its finances, with the regulator arguing the firm should disclose the revenue it made from XRP sales that Torres ruled were unregistered. Let me pause here for a moment. If you're getting value out of this video, please click on the like and subscribe buttons as well as the notification bell. Our next top headline, Gary Gensler could literally cost Joe Biden the election, says Mark Cuban. The billionaire investor also intimated that any political aspirations Gensler had would amount to nothing due to the SEC chair's stance against cryptocurrency. Billionaire investor and cryptocurrency advocate Mark Cuban recently shared his thoughts on the potential for havoc that Gary Gensler's actions as head of the United States Securities and Exchange Commission could wreak on incumbent U.S. President Joe Biden's bid for re-election. Speaking at Coinbase's State of Crypto Summit, Cuban opined that Gensler could literally cost Joe Biden the election, per Fox Business reporter Eleanor Tourette. This isn't the first time Cuban has indicated on the record that he believes Gary Gensler and by extension, the SEC itself, could foil Biden's second-term hopes. Cuban has long called for regulatory clarity. As Cointelegraph reported in May, Cuban called for the U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission, or CFTC, to take over cryptocurrency regulation duties. At the time, he said that crypto voters will be heard this election, referring to 2024 U.S. presidential election. He also warned that if Joe Biden loses, there is a good chance you will be able to thank Gary Gensler and the New York SEC. Biden on cryptocurrency. Biden has reportedly begun discussions with cryptocurrency industry insiders for a potential pivot to accepting crypto donations for his campaign. This could be a too little, too late move for the president, as his time in office has been marked by a relatively negative attitude toward the industry. Otherwise, it's unclear how the incumbent plans to approach crypto as it arises during the rest of the campaign. It's possible the issue could be raised during the upcoming presidential debates. Trump on cryptocurrency. Former U.S. President Donald Trump's stance on cryptocurrency differs widely from that of Biden's. In a complete 180-degree turn, Trump has recently offered his full-throated support for the technology. As Cointelegraph reported recently, Trump has vowed to end Joe Biden's war on crypto and to ensure that the future of crypto and the future of Bitcoin will be made in America. In previous comments, Trump posted to his Truth social media network that he would safeguard the cryptocurrency industry against government infringement, and that crooked Joe Biden, on the other hand, the worst president in the history of our country, wants it to die a slow and painful death. Our next top headline, surprising tone shift, Biden administration officials to attend key Bitcoin Roundtable in D.C. In a surprising turn of events, President Joe Biden's administration is scheduled to attend a roundtable on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies this July in Washington, D.C., organized by Representative Ro Khanna. This imminent meeting indicates a change in Washington's position toward the cryptocurrency industry. Biden admin officials to host Crypto Policy Roundtable next month. According to a leaked report, unnamed Biden administration officials, lawmakers from both the House and the Senate, and billionaire Mark Cuban will convene in a Bitcoin roundtable spearheaded by pro-crypto Representative Ro Khanna, Democrat, California. The meeting, slated for early July, reportedly aims to support innovations in Bitcoin and the wider crypto ecosystem within the U.S. This development comes as a welcome surprise to observers, as the current Biden regime has become synonymous with crypto hostility. As Crypto previously covered, President Biden struck down a bipartisan passed resolution that sought to roll back a U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission policy that critics said all but foreclosed the possibility of banks moving into the space and imposed harsh capital requirements on crypto custodians. The incumbent president asserted that the bill undermines the SEC's authority and would hurt investors. Has Biden suddenly become pro-crypto now? Interestingly, this evident change of heart from the Biden government comes in the run-up to the November U.S. presidential elections, which some pundits believe will be decided by a razor-thin margin. The move arguably suggests that Biden's camp is increasingly recognizing the impact crypto-related matters could have on the presidential race. His main political rival, Donald Trump, has made headlines for his relentless support for Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining in recent months in his about face. Besides his anti-CBDC, or central bank digital currency, remarks, the ex-POTUS and presumptive Republican nominee accepts cryptocurrencies as donations for his campaign in a bid to court crypto-focused voters. Earlier this month, Trump boldly called himself the crypto president during a fundraiser to curry favor from crypto voters further. He has also vowed to put an end to the Biden administration's slow-boiling war against crypto. Meanwhile, billionaire and crypto advocate Mark Cuban recently postulated that Gary Gensler's anti-crypto maneuvers as chief of the United States Securities and Exchange Commission could literally cost Joe Biden the election. Biden has reportedly started discussions with cryptocurrency industry players about accepting crypto donations for his campaign through Coinbase Commerce. This move is undoubtedly a little too late for the president given his tenure in office, which has been marked by an onslaught against the burgeoning crypto industry. So this concludes Crypto Top Headlines. If you haven't already done so, don't forget to click on the like and subscribe buttons as well as the notification bell. Also, leave your thoughts in the comments and share this video with your friends and family. Thank you all for watching Crypto Top Headlines, bringing crypto's news to you.